Accused of shooting and killing a state trooper had his pretrial conference continued. And the Food and Drug Administration announced action to benefit millions of women going through menopause.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, Mountain family. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Thursday, November 13th. The time is now 4:59, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it was pretty chilly outside this morning. I definitely had to walk out the door with a blanket, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I wish I would have put on another layer. I'm wearing a blazer this morning, so I thought I'd be fine. No, it's still cold outside. You might need a coat as you're starting off your Thursday. Here's a look at just what you can expect. Mainly a mixture of the 40s. Some folks are a little bit chillier than others. 31 in Manchester, 32 in Whitesburg, and we're looking at 43 in Hazard. So just be prepared, wear that coat. But thankfully, we are going to see a return of temperatures similar to yesterday as we're heading into the afternoon. Really going to be looking at the upper 50s and low 60s, where it is about where we should be for this time of year. Best news of all is we'll look nice and sunny, although this morning we are dealing with a little bit of clouds, but by the afternoon they'll clear themselves out and will stay clear overnight and going into your Friday before some more warmth is on the way. But here's a look at your next 12 hours. Sunrise this morning will be at 7:11. Neely.
All right, Megan, thank you. One road in West Virginia was closed in both directions after a deadly crash, but has since reopened. The crash happened early yesterday on State Route 65. It involved a motorcycle in the Lenoir area, according to the West Virginia Division of Highways. No other details have been provided so far. Cleanup operations following the UPS plane crash in South Louisville have expanded over 5 miles south of the airport, with oil and debris infiltrating multiple waterways. MSD said the oil and debris contained to the Melcro drainage basin, which includes Pond Creek, the northern ditch, and the southern ditch.
My son and the neighbors' boys and things, they go out there fishing a lot and things like that. And you'll see people walking down to the Louisville Loop and fishing out of the creek and things just right off of the park there.
After learning the crews J.R. Shirelicki had seen working near his home for the past week are actually cleaning up debris from last Tuesday's plane crash, he says he's glad they're there.
I mean, if there's something that's in the waters, it needs to be cleaned up for the community, especially the young children in the neighborhood, for sure.
The crew at Pond Creek is one of several working in the Melco drainage basin, which also includes the northern ditch and the southern ditch. Tony Parrott with MSD says they were able to contain contaminants from the crash to that basin.
And one of the things that I think is very clear for the public to understand is that that basin has been isolated ever since. And so everything that has collected in that basin did not release to the waterways.
Parrott says crews have skimmed large pieces of sludge off the top of water with machines, but oil is harder to catch. So crews have set up what's called booms all along the creeks. Those booms act like a wall and absorb the floating oil. Crews also are deploying what looks like pieces of paper, but they're actually more like sponges called sorbents. They soak up all the oil and are then removed by crews. Parrott says even with these multiple tools, they're still monitoring the waterways constantly.
We ask folks to avoid touching, swimming, fishing, or kayaking, or interacting in those waterways in any fashion, and keep your pets away from the water as well.
The section of Pond Creek that crews are working on is just steps away from Nick Rodman Park. That's why Shirelicki says he hopes crews can get it cleaned up fast.
Relatively, I mean, it's used quite a bit, and that's why I would like to see some testing and make sure it's safe for the kids and things.
After 43 days, the federal government is finally open for business. Last night, President Donald Trump signed a bill to end the shutdown just a couple hours after it was passed by the House. While relief is on the way for hundreds of thousands of government workers who were either worked or were furloughed without pay, it could take some time for air travel to get back to normal. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
With the stroke of the president's pen, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history has ended.
It's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again.
President Trump pointed blame at congressional Democrats, though CBS News polling shows Americans put the onus on both parties.
Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars.
Hours earlier, the House passed the bill to fund the government through January 30th, give federal workers back pay, and reverse shutdown-related layoffs. The measure also included 3 year-long spending bills to fund multiple programs, including SNAP. 6 Democrats crossed party lines to vote yes. 2 Republicans voted no.
All this was utterly pointless and foolish.
House Speaker Mike Johnson hasn't committed to a vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Democratic sticking point. House Democrats say they'll keep fighting.
We believe as Democrats that health care has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
With the shutdown ended, federal workers could start getting back pay within days, but it could still take some time for full food aid to be restored for 42 million Americans receiving SNAP benefits. Meanwhile, at the nation's airports, flight disruptions are expected to extend into the weekend. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The White House's Council of Economic Advisors estimates that the shutdown cost the U.S. economy around $15 billion a week. House Democrats released a new emails yesterday that referenced President Donald Trump and claim he knew about the Jeffrey Epstein victims. In one of the emails, Epstein wrote to his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, that Trump, quote, spent hours at my house with one of the victims of the sex trafficking. In another email, Epstein wrote that Trump, quote, knew about the girls he asked her to stop. Democrats claim the release strikes as a blow against the White House's Epstein cover-up. President Trump responded to the emails released on Truth Social, calling it a blow for Democrats to, quote, deflect on how they badly done this on the shutdown. In a pivotal move, the Food and Drug Administration announced action to set benefit millions of women through menopause. The FDA, they are taking steps to get rid of black box warnings on many hormone therapy treatments in effort to improve the health of women. Hormone therapy used to treat menopause has been on the market for years. However, the warning labels on the drugs used for it steered many women away.
Removing that black box warning allows us to confidently give our patients the confidence they need to proceed with therapies that not only will make them feel better, but will also help their overall health.
The FDA says hormone therapy still carries significant risk for some women. So Wendy says patients should talk to their doctor about their symptoms and treatment options best fit for them. The Trump administration recently proposed a 50-year mortgage plan in hopes of helping Americans afford to buy a home. The standard mortgage plan currently is 30 years, but if stretched over 50 years, that means smaller payments each month. CJ Cunningham is a Central Kentucky mortgage broker. He says that while monthly payments may be smaller, the overall interest of a homeowner would pay is much higher.
I could see it being used as an affordability tool, especially in higher cost areas, but really it's not practical. It's a tool that we could use, but they really need to address affordable housing.
Cunningham says he doesn't think this 50-year plan will come to fruition, but he always advises potential home buyers to talk to real estate or mortgage professionals. The number of children with high blood pressure has doubled in recent years. A study published in The Lancet shows 6% of all children worldwide, or 114 million young people, have hypertension. Obesity is the main driver of the increase, and doctors say this should raise alarm bells for parents and healthcare providers, as hypertension is linked to several serious health issues, including heart disease and kidney disease. Popular drugs used for weight loss can lower the rates of death among colon cancer patients. Researchers from UC San Diego found that colon cancer patients taking GLP-1 drugs, the class of drugs that include Ozempic and Wegovy, were less than half as likely to die within 5 years compared to people who weren't on the drugs. The biggest benefit was among patients with a very high body mass index. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. A woman born without an arm allowed her journey to inspire others, leading her to her dream career. We'll show you that story in the good side.
And average temperatures stay in eastern Kentucky today, but 70 chances are coming up.